So for the question for the forum this week about the group rules and norms, I really had to think a lot about this because there's just so many that came to my mind that I think are super important. I was really thinking back to my time this past summer in the group counseling course. And I feel like that's the first time I've really been, a part of a group where I really had to share and be vulnerable. And that's a big deal. And I think, I remember over the summer, we took a lot of time in the beginning of making sure that we all created our group rules together. And honestly, I felt like we took a lot of time on it. And in the beginning, I was, kind of wondering why it was that big of a deal, especially with us already knowing each other and being a class. But as time went on and more people were sharing, and I began to share things, it really made me understand how important it is to set those rules ahead of time in order to make everyone comfortable. Because if you're not comfortable, it kind of, the point of sharing goes away, and you're not going to be honest. So it was really hard to choose two group rules and norms, but the ones I picked were respect and confidentiality. I was really basing this off of my experience in group this past summer and thinking that I wanted to make sure that people did have respect for me and that I had respect for others, because there's definitely times that we, may disagree with each other's opinions, or how we chose to handle a situation, but it's not our responsibility to give advice or anything, but also we shouldn't judge. We should respect what they have to say. And then my other one was confidentiality, because I know for me, that's a big deal. I don't want to share something, and I'm not going to share anything if I think there's a chance that someone's going to go and tell someone else or anything like that. So definitely confidentiality is a huge aspect of it for me as well. So when it came to looking up something to kind of support my thoughts about those group norms, I found a Mental Health America's Center for Peer Support, and it's a support group facilitation guide. It's from 2016, but I was reading through it, and I feel like it had a lot of good information. It had different support group basics, facilitator functions, preparing for meetings, starting meetings, guidelines, things like that. So I was looking through the rules that they included, and there were quite a few, but respect and confidentiality were two of those. So along with respect, it was kind of under group etiquette. So it says it is imperative for everyone to understand the expectations for respect and personal responsibility. So the guidelines under that were listening without interrupting, avoiding personal conversations during the meeting, acceptance of differences and respecting each other's opinions, refraining from judging people, and sharing the group's time. So I feel like all of that really goes into respect, because I don't know of anyone who would want to be involved in a group process where they didn't have these rules laid out. And then again, confidentiality was another one. Just trying to find what it said about that. So with that, it says that group members are prohibited from disclosing anything that's shared in meetings. So this also extended to personal data. So if you share names, addresses, email addresses, anything like that has to be protected. And then it also gives the limitations to confidentiality, which I think is very important. So again, I feel like those are two very important ones for any group, whether it's recovery or any group counseling process, to respect each other and keep that confidential information. So I feel like those, for me, are definitely two of the most important group norms.